Hashem's Basai Tivtach Uveki Telasecha. We're now in the 12th Perek of Melachim Alef. And just to recap what happened in the last Perek, the kingship of Shlomo HaMelech was taken away from him. Well, he himself was going to be the last in his family to have the full reign over all of Klal Yisrael, and his son Rechavam will become the king. But it is clear that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to Yeravam, he gave him the kingship, and remember, Achia ripped his coat into 12 different pieces, and he gave Yeravam 10 of them. And the only Shvatim that are going to be part of the Shevet, the larger Shevet of Yehuda, and they're going to follow in Rechavam, but everybody else is ultimately going to follow and going to be split from the Malchei Yehuda, and here they're going to be following Yeravam. And Yeravam runs away. He runs to Mitzrayim, and he is waiting it out because he is a political escapee, and he runs away to Mitzrayim. And now we're going to have that after Shlomo dies, Vayilech Rechavam Shechem. And Rechavam, the son of Shlomo, goes to Shechem. And he goes there in order to claim himself as the king, that all of Yisrael should go there. Shechem connotes a lot of rebellion. We know in Tanakh it's what happened with Dinah. We know it's with the brothers. It is not a happy place. It is a place of rebellion. It's a place that has almost like a dirty connotation. But Rechavam thought that this was a more centralized location, so he has it there. But you have this ominous feel that this kingship isn't going to go as well as perhaps Rechavam wanted. Now, on the other hand, when Yeravam ben Nevat, he is still in Mitzrayim, he had run away from Shlomo, and he was there, and they call him back, and he comes and speaks to Rechavam, and he says to Rechavam, Avicha hiksha, your father made things really hard for us. Va'ata, and you, ata, now, hakel ma'avodas avicha hakasha, uma'alo hakavid asher nasan alinu v'navdeka. Please lighten our load. It's too harsh. It's too heavy of a yoke. We're working too hard to serve you in taxes, in our money. And what happens? What does Rechavam answer? As a wise person, Vayomer alehem lechu od shlosha yamim vashuvu alai bilchu ha'am. And so he says, go away for 3 days, and then come back to me. And the people, they immediately respond. What's getting suggested with that they immediately respond is that they listen to him. Underneath all of what is potentially going to happen is the people are asking respectfully, and they want to have what they already know to be true. They would love to keep Rechavam as the king, but Yeravam is standing up for their rights, and he's getting somewhere politically. He is very charismatic, and he's a natural born leader. Plus, he has the idea in his head. He already knows that he's been decided and determined to be the king by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So it really is kind of a sure bet, and so he can be a little bit perhaps more emphatic if he needs to be. And what happens is Rechavam goes to the Zikanim. They are the ones who had served his father. That is the sure bet. And he asks them what's to do about the people. And they answer that if you're going to be the servant to those people today, serve them. Speak to them kindly, and they will be your servants always. And here you hear a big, important message, a lifelong message from the Zikanim, the people that are qualified to make a smart decision. Im hayom tia eved la'am hazeh va'avadatam va'anisam v'dibarta lehem dvarim tovim va'yu lecha avadim kol hayamim. They want to love you. They want to respect you. You show them respect, they will be respectful to you forever. But vayazov et atas hazakenim, he ignores that. Vayiva'et et hayeladim. Oh my goodness, he goes to the young children. He goes to the Gen Z. He goes to another generation and he asks them, Asher ha'umdim lefanav, that were serving him. They are not, it's not even a question in the Navi's mind if they're deserving to be making this kind of decision. And he says, okay, what am I supposed to do? The people are asking that I take away the taxes, that I lighten their load. And Niziladim say, Ko tamar lamazeh, asher dibru alecha lemor, abicha hechbid es uleinu, ba'ata hakel ma'aleinu, ko tidaber alehim katane ava mitznei avi. Okay. Your father made, to those people who say that, oh yeah, you made it so heavy, can you make it light for us? Say, my little finger is thicker than my father's loins. I am going to be even stricter. Va'ata now, avihem mis alechem ol kabed. My father put a heavy yoke on you, you ain't seen nothing yet. Ani esov es ulchem, avi asar etzchem b'shotim, v'ani eser etzchem ba'akravim. My father flogged you with whips. I'm going to flog you with scorpions. Akravim, where did we have that? Nechashim v'akravim is when the borek, when the story with Yosef, you already feel that there is like a hatred that's going to be brewing, and they are literally saying the worst things possible, the worst advice. Now he has 3 days to ponder it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him a gift, but the right answer is not penetrating. It is as though vayachbid Hashem esleiv paro. He is not listening, and instead, on the 3rd day, Yeravam and all the people come to Rechavam, and they're like, okay, come back on the 3rd day, and vayan hamelech es ha'am kasheh, and he speaks to them harshly. That's what he decides to do. Vayazov et asas hazakinim asher yo'atzu. He had good advice. He had like the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Tov inside of him, and yet he ignored the advice. Not that he didn't get it. Not that he didn't have 3 days to ponder over and make a good decision. Nothing impulsive. It was premeditated. It was not a good decision. And he took the decision of the children instead. And he said exactly what they said. Abi hechbid etz ulchem, va'ani osif aluchem, abi asar etzchem v'shotim, va'ani aser etzchem v'akravim. Bad idea, just bad idea. And that was the beginning of the end. As a result of that situation, there is going to be a split in their mind, and it is going to be very careful, that a very easy promise that Achia had made to Yeravam is going to now come true. Because Vayar Kol Yisrael, all of Yisrael, they are united in how they feel. Ki lo shama hamelech alehem. They have no empathy from the king, and they say, Ma lanu chelek b'David, v'lo nachala leben Yishai laholecha Yisrael. And they say, we have no portion with David, we have no share in what's happening to your tents, and everyone should go away Yisrael. V'atar re'ei beischa David, v'yelech Yisrael lo halav. Now you're on your own base, David, and all the Bnei Israel, except for just Yehuda, they stay, but everybody else leaves. And that's exactly what happened. Everybody starts to follow in the ways of Yeravam. Bnei Yisrael hayoshrim ba'ar Yehuda, the people of Yehuda, they're the only ones that follow in the footsteps of and under the auspices of Rechavam. And it's a very sad story, because here we have the divisiveness. We have a separation. We have that it is going to be Yehuda against all of the other Shvatim. And Rechavam is, he sends the first guy, okay, so I told you we're going to be taxed, you're going to be taxed. So he sends Adoram just as a tax collector and they kill him. Now, Jewish people don't generally kill people with stones, but yet they determined that he deserved to die, and they literally pelted him to death with stones. And King Rechavam realizes this is not going to go well. I need to get out of here, because if he's gone, I'm going to be the next one to go. And he flees to Yerushalayim. That is his king area. That is that's his palace. That's his dynasty. That area is a promised area for him, and not this nonsense about Shechem, bad idea, and that's it. Bnei Israel have now revolted against the house of David. And when all the Yisrael heard that Yeravam has come back, they send messengers, and they make him the king over Yisrael. And only the tribe of Yehuda remain loyal to David. And Rechavam, on his return back to Yerushalayim, Rechavam gathers all the house of Yehuda and now also the Shevet of Binyamin. And it's 180,000 of the best warriors, and they want to go fight. Now, we have a unnecessarily death. We have harshness where the Bnei Israel are totally turned off to Malchus David. It's not going in the right direction. And now, the word of Hashem comes to Shemaiah, who is the Ish HaElokim, saying, here's what I want you to tell King Rechavam and all of the people of Yehuda and the people of Binyamin. Ko amar Hashem, lo sa'alu, do not get up, v'lo tilchamun, and do not fight imachechem b'nei Yisrael. Go back to your house. Ki mi'itine yahadavar hazeh. Everything that's happening is exactly preordained by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It is a Hashem thing. It is not for this whole situation is something that was promised. This is part of the trajectory of what happens, what's going to be happening in the history of Klal Yisrael. Vayishma'u es davar Hashem. They're good. They listen. They're just disillusioned with their king. Their king did not turn out to be kind. He's not giving empathy. It's feeling very uncomfortable. They've been really spoiled. They had David HaMelech. They had Shlomo HaMelech. They had people that they really loved and believed in. And this Rechavam just isn't doing it. And Yeravam is a charismatic leader. That's where this is all coming from. And so, as a result, they listen exactly to what Hashem says, and they go back to their houses, and because that's what Hashem said. Now, Yeravam is a smart guy. Vayiben Yeravam et Shechem, and what does he do? He fortifies Shechem, and that's where he lives. And he moves out of there, and Vayiben et Penuel, and then he builds up Penuel. And Yeravam says into his heart, there's a problem. I realize that the people are very, very fickle. Just like they turned in my favor, they can turn against my favor. I need to solidify my kingdom in a very strong way. And I can't have people united coming together in Aliyah L'Regel, because as soon as people come together, they might feel the kedusha of the moment, and that's going to be a problem for me, because at the end of the day, there is something so powerful based of it. That is something that's in their blood, that will always be, and perhaps it is even highlighting, I don't want the Mashiach Hashem. I don't want it to happen. I know that I'm a default king, and that the only way that I'm going to be able to get power is if, in fact, I take it, and if, in fact, I don't put the Bnei Yisrael in a position where they can be united under the auspices of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And so if they start to go up to Yerushalayim, that's going to be it will not be good. They're going to kill me, and they're going to go back to Rechavam because they're so fickle. So what does he do? He makes 2 golden calves, Aglei Zahav, and he says to the people, you have been going up to Yerushalayim long enough. This is now your God who brought you up from the land of Egypt. And, it's in recognition of this, of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he puts 2, it's unbelievable, 2 golden calves. One he puts in Bethel, and the other he placed in Dan. So it was from up to down. And that is that proved that's what the Bnei Yisrael started to worship. They went all the way to Bethel and all the way to Dan. And he appointed Kohanim, and that were not people from the Shevet of Kohen. It's from Levi. It's wow. He is literally creating a very liberal-minded religion, and he is taking away all of what they're used to and zhuzhing it over a little bit. So it's not that he's taking it or doing something completely different, but rather he's doing a version of it that is his own version. And what does he do? They have korbanos there, and he establishes that it is on the 15th day of the 8th month, which is kind of like what we have. We have it in Tishrei, now it's in Cheshvan, and all of the process of what happens with the korbanos, it's all zhuzhed over. And he just makes everything just a version of the religion. And Yeravam goes, Vaya'as Chag LeBnei Yisrael. He made like a sukkos for the Bnei Yisrael. Vaya'al al Mizbeach La'aktir. And he goes on the Mizbeach to give a sacrifice. What we have right now is that he's giving korbanos on this new thing. Now we know, as soon as the Beis HaMikdash was created, there was not going to be korbanos or on the bamos, nothing. It was no longer. And what does he do? He reinstitutes the bamos. He reinstitutes something that was closed down, and all in so to speak, to strengthen his kingship. But really, he's creating his own religion. He is making something that giving the type of Jewishness that is becoming very liberal, very anti-Jewish. So he changes basically the holy time of Tishrei becomes the holy time of Cheshvan. He also takes on that the place should be different, and the ability to give korbanos on the Beis HaMikdash is different. Everything is just slightly off. He doesn't do something that's a hocus pocus, because that's not really what the Satan is telling us. Ba'aser Satan milfaninu macharenu. We say, what does that mean? To take the Satan away that's in front of us and behind us. And that is that the derech that we're trying to go, it should continue. It should be at a point where we recognize that we have to follow in the way of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have to make sure that we go and listen to the actual Torah, not our own version of the Torah. He had created his own version. Why? Because of his own kavod. Right? Hakina, hakavod, hakas, those are the things that take somebody out of this world. He clearly had a level of wanting so much for his own aggrandizement. Perhaps he was jealous at those people that already had and was yielding the power, and he would not give up his power. That was the one thing Yeravam was not willing to do. And so he basically creates his own religion so that the people should follow him, and he will have the dynasty that he really, really wants. And we will see in the next Perek exactly what happens. But the people, they had the right intention, but they weren't spoken to well. They weren't empathized with. You didn't get to feel the way that they had with other more emotional leaders. And for that, that is a big responsibility that the king, but all of us in that position, is to be able to emote. That it's not just about being authoritative, but it's authoritarian. That there is a version of being the authority, but it's also, you have to hear what other people have to say. You have to give them respect. You have to show empathy. And unfortunately, Rechavam did not do so. And we will see what happens in the next Perek.